Hi, and welcome to Career and College Matters. I'm your host, Dr. Mildred Charles, and I want to sincerely thank you for tuning into our show. The purpose of our show is to discuss important topics surrounding today's career and college concerns. Our goal is to inform, to empower, and to inspire you, our viewing audience, with information that will help you to discover and achieve true academic and career success. Well, today, audience, I'm so excited. We have an awesome topic and an awesome guest. The topic of our show is how to earn a six-figure income without a four-year degree. And I'm so honored to have our guest. His name is Tola Sarumi. He is the CEO of Aperture Tech, and I'd like to welcome you to the show.
Thank you so much, Dr. Charles.
So, Tola, tell us, how do you earn a six-figure income without a four-year degree? What's that all about?
Well, there are multiple ways to actually get this done, but I was able to find a specific niche, and this particular niche is IT. We've had a lot of success in getting individuals six-figure incomes in IT without a four-year degree. Me personally, I don't have a degree. I dropped out of school by my sophomore year, and then from there I said, okay, I have wonderful business ideas, I have wonderful business plans. However, the only thing that's holding me back or holding anybody back is funding. Funding for my ideas, funding for my plans. And it doesn't necessarily have to be business, because there's a lot of individuals, they have different plans. Some people have plans for family, some people have plans for self, they want to go around, see the world. But the thing that always holds everybody back is funding.
It's funding.
How do I now get funding? So at the time I was working not even a part-time shift. I was working those shifts that you only get 2 hours in a day, and then after that they say, yeah, you worked. But I happened to stumble upon a IT training facility that, or rather it was an individual, it was his house. I found the guy, I begged him, I said, look, I need to learn IT. Can you teach us? And the guy, he said, well, I'm not a teacher, but let me just assure you, or at least clear myself and let you know that I'm not guaranteeing that you're getting a job from this.
Wow.
So
That's his disclaimer.
That was his disclaimer.
Okay.
That was his disclaimer. So from there, I said, okay, I don't care. Just get me this information, get me this knowledge. So
what was it about this information that you felt so determined to actually to get?
Well, funny story. My friend who actually went through the same process, he just came out of Baltimore prison. He was in there for 6 months, and he came out, and next thing you know, he's working as an IT specialist for Bank of America, making $50 an hour.
So you're saying that a friend that you know was in prison, got out of prison, did some IT training, and was able to earn a job earning $50 an hour?
Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying.
And I would totally understand why you got inspired.
So I was beyond compelled
oh my God.
to get this knowledge.
Wow.
I was beyond compelled. My partner and I, we said, okay, we don't know how we're going to do it, but we have to do it. So we begged him. He taught us in his basement. And next thing you know, first job, I'm working at Fannie Mae, making $7,000 a month.
Wait, let's back up here. So how long did it take you to get this training from this individual?
Great question. So the training, he spent roughly about 3 months with us. Okay. And ironically enough, the training that he taught us, we had to go find information on the topic and present it to him for him to now teach us on it.
Oh, wow. So it sounds kind of like a self-study
It was almost
type of program. Okay, so 3 months, And what kind of training in IT? Was it a specific software or programming that you
Sure.
had
So
to learn?
the area of IT that we were compelled to learn was Linux
Okay,
operating system,
I've heard of that.
to be a system administrator.
Okay,
So that was what we were being trained on.
okay. So you guys got the information, you learned it, and then your first job was at Fannie Mae.
Fannie Mae, making $7,000 a month.
Okay,
Then from there, I was doing that, and my first job, my first title, mind you, at this time, I'm roughly like 19 years old,
well,
making
that's
$7,000
impressive.
a month.
And how long did it take you to get that job?
It took me literally, I'll say, maybe about a month.
About a month.
About a
Okay,
month.
so after you did the training for 3 months, you got, you got the certification. And actually, did you have to take an exam to do a certification? Wow. So
There was
then
no
you
exam, there was no certification.
Okay.
Because what I learned by fire, but now I understand through experience, is that what companies are looking for is experience.
Oh wow, that's great information.
They're not looking for, even if they have it on paper, they're not looking for those who have degrees now. They're not looking for those who have certifications. It'll be a plus if you have it, but they're not looking for that. They're looking for someone, can you now do the job?
Wow.
If you can do the job, then we can now bring you on board. And I learned that through fire, because I said, okay, you're telling me all this time that I was spending in college, I could have been spending more on understanding this craft. And then from there, I would have been catapulted more sooner than I did at the time.
Wow.
So from there, I realized that, okay, I can do two jobs at once. So I was doing two jobs. I
Okay.
was bringing in 14 grand a month. And I just started started doing two jobs,
Oh
three
my
jobs.
gosh.
Next thing you know, I'm making almost as much as the President of the United States, or if not more, because the President of the United States, I believe he makes roughly about $250,000 a year.
That is just amazing to hear. And I know that we have some audience members who are scratching their head and like, wait a minute, are you telling me that you did 3 months, you did your training, and then after the 3 months, you were able to go ahead, secure a job, and then after that you started, earning 14,000. That is impressive, and that actually does, prove that there are alternative pathways that can lead to success.
Most definitely.
So then, so you got all this, and by the way, congratulations. That
Thank
is
you.
truly a success story. So then when you started realizing that this was an industry, this is a career you wanted to pursue, what did you do at that point to get you to your business ventures?
Great question. So what the segue for us, like I stated before, I was business first, then IT second. So my goal was now, okay, how do I find funding
Yes.
for my businesses?
Absolutely.
So once I got into the IT field, my business mind, it never died. In retrospect, or in quite contrary, it was now enhanced. So now I said, okay, how can we now get into this IT industry? How can we now bring business into this? So we said, okay, let's now start creating a recruiting agency.
Okay, that sounds
So-
like a smart plan.
Yeah, so we said, let's do a recruiting agency, because we found out that we were now recommending so many of our friends to the individual who now trained us in this basement. We said, okay, we can now do recruiting in this. So we now started the recruiting agency, and the downside was that the people that we were bringing and now directing them to these companies, they didn't have the same skill set that we had.
Okay.
So now we said, okay, there's a problem, because now we're damaging our integrity. So we said, okay, how do we now solve this problem? So we said, okay, let's create an IT school.
Okay, that sounds like a good solution.
It was a perfect solution. But the only problem was, okay, who's going to teach it?
Okay.
Like, I'm not a teacher. My partner wasn't an IT teacher. I mean, we've only been in IT for how many months? I mean,
Okay.
we weren't even in there for a year to now say that, okay, we're solid teachers.
Yes.
but we knew that the training that we had, the way we understood IT, it was perfect for various companies because we supported so many different contracts, and our integrity was bar none.
Wow.
So we now said, okay, let's do this thing. Let's train ourselves.
Okay.
So I started teaching. I started teaching IT, teaching what I knew. So I found out that you don't have to know 1 through 10, but if you know 1 through 3 and you know it very well,
Gotcha.
you know the ins and outs of 1 through 3, you know which ones are prime numbers, you know which ones are divisible, are indivisible, you know everything there is to know about 1 through 3, and you can now talk about 1 through 3. You're better than the individual who knows 1 through 10 but can't talk about it.
Wow. And that, does that have to do with what you spoke about earlier regarding experience?
Yes.
Okay. All
Yes.
right. All right. So you decided to start teaching, and so how was that experience with your training school, your career training school?
Oh, it was tough at first.
Okay.
I mean, any new venture, it's tough.
Okay.
I mean, because yes, I was a public speaker prior, but I've never taught someone something that I barely knew myself at the time.
Wow.
So I had to do a lot of studying on what it is that I knew, and creating curriculums and things of that nature, and finding out that, okay, you know more than you think you do.
Wow. Isn't that always the case?
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Once you now push yourself beyond what you think your limit is, you always find that next level.
Okay.
Our first student who went through our whole training course,
Which took how long?
it took 3 months.
Okay. 3
It
months.
took 3 months. We wanted to provide the same type of teaching that we now gained ourselves and improved on.
Okay.
We taught him. He didn't have a green card,
Oh my gosh.
or rather, he wasn't a U.S. citizen. He only had his green card, rather.
Okay.
And a week to the training ending, he now got an offer from Capital One.
That is, okay, Capital One, you know, the bank, the company
bank.
doing.
He never had any prior IT experience. The only IT experience he had was from our training facility.
Wow, that is amazing.
And his job wasn't a system administrator. It was as a system engineer.
Okay, so then what do you think it was? I mean, because it sounds like you've tapped into an in-demand career industry, and the fact that you're able to provide the training to your students, you were a student yourself, and then you actually became very successful. What do you think is fueling all of this?
What fueled it for us primarily was to make sure that we saw people understand that there's a place where you can get water. You don't have to die of thirst.
Okay, wow.
I mean, I was blessed to find or stumble upon this wealth.
Okay.
I was blessed to find this type of wealth of knowledge that, okay, there is a career that or a field that you can get into without having a degree.
Wow.
There are a lot of individuals who don't know that this is out there.
Yes, I'm aware of that.
I
Yes.
mean, those with degrees, those without degrees. We've had individuals who came to us who had a master's degree, but yet no job. They went through us. One of those individuals, he's now making $60 an hour working for Raytheon.
Wow. And it sounds like you have, and it's funny, I have to share this information with the audience. I'm not even sure if I ever told you, but that's how I found out about your company. I happened to be in the building, and I was talking to this young gentleman about, you know, our career options conference that we do every year. And he has a 4-year degree, couldn't find work, and he told me, hey, you should go upstairs and, you know, talk to Tola. He would be a great speaker for your conference. And that's, you know, so I'm hearing firsthand, not just from him, but other students about all the success that they're experiencing. So that is very impressive. Can you share with our audience again about, you know, maybe one other success story besides the first student, which, by the way, that's very impressive.
There was one individual, mind you, now we've been in business for roughly about 4 years now.
Okay.
So I believe by the second year, there was an individual who just came out. I believe it's okay if I share a story. We've spoken about this. He just came out of prison. He was in prison for roughly about 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
Just came out, and he now needed to find a job. Coming from that mindset, that prison mindset, and now bringing himself into the public.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't tell us that he just came out of prison. Because I believe if he would have told me at that time, because I didn't have any experience with a felon, if he would have told me that, okay, look, I just came out of prison, but I want to take your class, I think I would have been one of the ones to tell him that, okay, I don't know if this is going to work for you. And I'm glad he didn't tell me, because I probably would have discouraged him.
Mm.
After the course ended, he now found a position making $55 an hour as a system engineer.
Wow.
And he's been in the field now for over 2 years now.
Wow.
Working as an IT specialist. Has now tacked on various certifications on his resume. I mean, he's up there now.
But and it's interesting that that's another impressive success story. And then for the audience who is saying, "Wow, so you helped somebody who did not have a green card, and then somebody who came out of prison," it again speaks to the demand of the career opportunities in IT. So then, what about someone who doesn't have those limitations? How would you talk to the audience and in terms of looking at your program? If somebody's saying like, wow, that's amazing, can I do that? What would it take for someone to be able to accomplish all of that?
You just have to be hungry.
Oh, that's beautiful.
You just have to be hungry and vigilant. Because, yes, there are a lot of success stories that have come out of our program, but there are also a lot of unsuccessful stories that came out of our program.
Absolutely,
and
that makes sense.
It's because of individuals who thought that, okay, it's just going to be a free ride, it's going to be like college, I go to class, I show up, but no work was now put in. I mean, there's no way you're going to get what you intend for and you don't put any work in to now get it. I mean, you just have to be hungry. For those who are hungry, I mean, we just had an individual who just got a job. She had a degree. She did all the right things.
Absolutely.
She followed the American process to the dream.
Absolutely.
But was unable to attain the dream through the process. But she worked hard. I mean, she was in class every day.
Wow.
She put time in. She was studying. I mean, she called the instructor's phone number saying, hey, what's this? What's that? How do I do this? How do I do that? Doing different type of study groups. I mean, she did it all. And less than a month, she's now making $90K. I mean, that is
just amazing.
I mean, it's really how much work do you put in? If you put work in, you're going to get results. There's no two ways about it.
That's awesome. And I guess one other question before we get ready to wrap up. So how many students has your company trained?
So far, we've trained 300 students.
300 students in the course of 4 years.
Yes.
So if we have an audience member who's looking at, watching this show, and they're like seeing themselves, and they says, you know what, I've got that hunger. I want to do that. I've heard about IT. I have a degree. I don't have a degree. How do they get in contact with you to get this information so that they too may look into becoming a student at your school?
Sure. So they can reach us through our email address, which is t.sarumi. Well, that's my personal email address, t.sarumi@aperturetech.com, or they can visit our website, which is aperturetech.com. And one thing that I want to now leave is that you don't have to like IT or love IT, but because I always say there's two people that make it, those who love it and those who are hungry for what it provides. Understanding that it's a stepping stone. We've had a lot of people who came through our program who Their goal was not IT. They just needed the money that came from it, and were able to fund their own dreams and visions.
Wow. That's
So
a good strategy.
it is, because
Okay.
that's how I did it.
Absolutely.
I didn't love IT in the beginning. I love it now, but in the beginning, it was just a stepping stone for me.
Okay.
So for those who love IT, I think it's a perfect route for you, because you'll be able to attain that dream. For those they've hit rock bottom, they've hit a stone wall, but yet trying to now break through, understand there is hope. If you love what it provides and need what it provides, this is the route to take.
Well, we are so amazed and so honored to have you on the show to share this wonderful information. Well, there you have it, audience. There is hope. There are possibilities to succeed beyond high school, even in your current situation and positions, to be able to earn a six-figure income without a four-year degree in the IT industry. Again, thank you so much, Tola, for being on the show. And audience, stay tuned for our Consider This segment, where we'll talk a little bit more about these career options.
So there you are, shuffling through a stack of resumes, and you come to mine. This is it, first impression, my way in. But can my resume show you how I truly stand out? Like that I was studying, going to night school while working 2 jobs just to help my parents pay for groceries. Or being the first one to always step up. No, that's something you just can't put on paper. Look beyond the resume and discover new ways to develop great talent that is dedicated, hardworking, and determined like me.
Welcome back to Career and College Matters. This is our segment, Consider This segment, and on this segment today we're going to talk about career options beyond high school. So what does success beyond high school look like? Well, the College for All pathway says that once you complete high school and you go to college immediately after high school, this is what people think the path looks like. It's a direct shot to success. The reality is that there's a zigzag pathway, and this is what the path really looks like. So what is the College for All pathway? The expectation that a majority of high school students will pursue a 4-year degree immediately after graduating high school. It is also known as the college and career readiness because, again, the expectation is they're going right off to college. And the main priority of most public high school districts is to get their student body ready and accepted to college. So what are some career options beyond high school? Well, the research shows that there's 14 different pathways. The first one is, obviously, you can attend a 4-year college, 4-year university. You could either take the public or private route. You can also begin at a community college, which is also referred to as a junior college. The third pathway is you can secure an internship. It could be either paid or non-paid. In that pathway, you're developing experience. You can also apply for an an apprenticeship program. Number 5 is that you can enter the workforce. 6 is that some young people are fortunate, they have family businesses, so you can go and work at a family business. Number 7 is you can start a military career. That's also a viable option. Number 8 is you can become an entrepreneur. Studies show that the millennial generation is one of the most entrepreneurially minded generations, and they understand that concept with YouTube and just doing all of that. You can join volunteer service programs such as AmeriCorps and Job Corps. You can also follow your dream career. Sometimes that might be a little risky, but it is a viable option. Number 11 is you can register for a career training program. There are many of them in our county, and we had, obviously we have guests on the show to talk about that. You can also sign up for online classes. A lot of people don't know that there are online classes you can actually take for free. 13 is you can take a gap year. Gap year is taking that first year off to kind of explore, you know, take a break, do whatever it is that you need to do, but the whole point is to have a plan. Number 14, or you could just travel abroad. So these are the 14 pathways that you can explore beyond high school. So the question is, why should you care? I like to show this, this image because the fact is that there are multiple pathways beyond high school that can lead to success. And here are the 14 pathways that we just talked about. And as a parent and as a young person, you should also remember that there is hope, because you can discover your pathway to success if you take the time to do the research and find your way. So we want to, again, thank you for watching. If you have any question or any show topics, you can email us at info@cacmatters.com. You can visit our website, www.cacmatters.com, or you can call us at 240-243-9190. So again, thank you for joining us. We hope that you've gotten some valuable information. Until next time, thank you again for tuning in.